The information shared is for educational purposes only. Before taking any action, please seek the advice of a financial or tax professional. Hi, this is Ron Yaish with Special Needs Life Planning. Today we're doing a review. We're checking out the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C.'s ABLE account program. So we're here on their website. I like their little logo here with two hands. Kind of cute. The first thing that pops up is this notice about a change. There have been some changes, you should take the time to go through this. One of them is the fact that this year, in 2018, the the contribution to an ABLE account is $15,000. That went up, which is great. You will see a correlation between the federal gift amount and the amount that you're allowed to put into a 529A ABLE account. So you'll see a correlation with that. You'll see a connection there. Okay, so one of the big changes that you'll read here is that rollovers from 529 college accounts can be rolled over into the ABLE account. The states have to make a decision on this. This is a federal change. The states individually have to decide, is this something that they want? Is this something that they're going to do? And if so, how are they going to implement it? When are they going to implement it? And how are they going to get that information to you and to educate the people that are in that community? But regarding this and any other type of financial tool, you should really always reach out and get financial guidance from professionals. In general, get guidance from professionals such as tax, estate, attorneys, or financial professionals. Okay, let's jump right in. That was a little bit of an intro. Okay, so let's just take a look at the site before we click on anything. So kind of get an idea of what this is like. I like this simple layout. Very focused. I like it a lot. Okay, so here we are. It's clean. You know the colors. You know what you're here for, right? So you're trying to figure out the benefit plans, the plan benefits. You want to figure out what the investment options and how do I get involved? How do I start saving? Okay. And then on the bottom, well, here's a little bit of about saving, invest easily, start here. We like that. We like this very much. And then the forms. We're going to get to the forms. We're going to try to get through this entire site as much as we can. Okay, so let's check it out. Let's go to plan benefits. Again, for those of you who are interested, we do have a webinar that gives an overview. We call it the ABLE Account 101, an overview of the ABLE account, what it's all about, how it works. You can look at the link below this video. We'll have a sign up link there for you. So we're not going to take the time to go through what an ABLE account is, how it came about, how it necessarily functions. Here it's more about, okay, we have this opportunity in Washington, D.C. to sign up, whether I'm a D.C. resident or not. What is this all about? How do I do it? And how do I navigate through this site? So that's the focus today. Okay, let's get through this. Helping to make life better. Plan highlights. Okay, so they're telling you what you can do. Okay. So one of the things that I like here in particular is that they're focusing, whoops, let's lower that. Okay, well, reduce that a little bit. They're making sure that you know that regardless of what this account allows as far as a general balance, because some of the ABLE accounts allow a much larger balance, like 400,000. If you want to maintain your current benefits, such as SSI, there is an SSI resource limit, which is up to 100,000. So the minute you go over 100,000, one may be compromising their government benefits. So it's always good to consult with somebody before making these types of decisions, so that you don't have to regret the decision. Okay, how do I open up the account? What is it going to take me? Can I open up the account with $1,000, $10,000, $100, or what is it going to take? So very clearly, I like how clear it is. It takes $25 to open up this account. You could do it online. You could do it via mobile device. You can access your account by going online, calling, mailing. I like the fact that they put in calling us because, I think people sometimes feel this is just a little personal anecdote or just an opinion, really, or my view, that sometimes we're becoming a little bit too much high tech. Like at my personal firm, I run a wealth management financial planning firm. What we strive for is high tech, high touch, right? So we want to be able to be involved with our clients as well as offer the technology that will make things easier. But we don't want to forget about the individual. So I like the fact that DC has put that in. There is a debit card option here, which is great. Avoid hidden fees. Okay. So here we've seen this with some of the other plans. The range here, right, what things are going to cost, which we'll see in a little bit, are between 34 to 38 basis points. Just to explain what basis points are, 1% is 100 basis points. So instead of saying, well, 30, it's 0.34, it's just easier to just say 34 basis points, which just means a part of that one. There could be, 150 basis points, and then it's 1.5%. But here's 34 basis points to 38 basis points. Just letting you know what it is. There is a quarterly charge of $15 per account, right? You're only allowed to have one account anyway, but for the account, but you can reduce that, right? If you go digital, then they'll credit you $3.75. If you decide to, if you are a resident of the District of Columbia, they will credit you another $1.25. So essentially, you're looking at a $40, excuse me, a $40 a year maintenance fee, okay, which is not unreasonable, but still something that you should be made aware of. Who is eligible? We're not going to get to. We do that in our webinar. What are qualified disability expenses? We do offer a report to give you kind of like a starting, kind of a way to start understanding what these expenses are like. You can go to our site, our website, specialneedslifeplanning.com/QDE. That would be qualified disability expense. So it's specialneedslifeplanning.com/QDE. We're not going to go into this. Okay. And this is always important to know. The earning portion of the withdrawal will be treated as income. So it will be taxed at your rate and will be subject to 10% federal penalty and applicable state taxes. That's if you take the money out for non-qualified expenses, which is something that you don't really want to do. So that's why you don't want to get taxed on it. You certainly don't want to get penalized. Okay. Do I have to prove eligibility? So the answer is, excuse me for that. The answer is right now you don't, right? We'll see later on. For somebody who already has SSI or SSDI, that person can get an ABLE account fairly easily. For somebody who does not fall into that category of somebody who has SSI or SSDI, you can get a certified letter from your licensed physician that is just part of the documentation that would be needed in case verification comes up. So that's just something to know. Okay. Do I have to prove the withdrawals are for qualified disability expenses? The answer is no. There isn't a way to do that currently, but that doesn't mean that may change, right? As this account plan begins to mature, it's fairly new. As it begins to mature, or if there's a question of abuse, somebody may need to come in and explain, or if there's some irregularities, right? So, I don't exactly know how this would be monitored, but if, all of a sudden tons of people started to get, I don't know, cruise gifts, $10,000 gifts from these types of accounts written out to cruise lines, I think that may cause a red flag. This is not anything factual. This is just an impression. I'm just speaking my mind. Please don't take that as any as any as a please don't misconstrue that as me explaining that the government is going to be watching the moves of every account holder, because I don't really know how that works. But right now there isn't a way that you're supposed to explain how you spent the funds. Excuse me. Can I have more than one ABLE account? No. How much can I contribute to my account? That would be $15,000 max per year. Can friends and families? Let's see if they have this. No. Okay. So can friends and family members make contributions? The answer is yes, of course. A good way to do this, and something that I recommend, and I know that other people do this, is they'll make a one-page digital birthday card, and they'll send it out to very close friends and family members, I don't know, a month before the individual's birthday, saying, in case you were thinking about, making a gift, or trying to think about what type of gift may be helpful to so-and-so, this is an account that he or she uses. These types of accounts don't compromise his or her benefits. Here's the account number. Here's the address, or pre-filling out a form from the ABLE plan, and just attach that to the email that you'll send friends and family once or twice a year, and have that as a downloadable PDF, so that all they need to do is download, include a check, and send it out. So I find that the easier you make it for, you make the process for people, the more likelihood you'll find success in people taking that step. Okay, how often can I change my investments? Twice per calendar year. But if you make any new contributions, that could be sent to it. That is not the same. So you can make changes twice to current investments. Anything new you could redirect. What is the recurring contribution? $25. Okay. So if I decide to make a contribution today, it's $25 to open it. If I decide to make a contribution in 3 months from now, I have to put in a minimum of $25. And this automatically moves funds from one investment option to another. Okay. So you have these. What is an investment? We're not going to get into that. Okay. So that is the plan benefits. Let's go to the investment options. Only takes 15 minutes for your future. So they're telling you, by stating that whether it's going to take you a half hour or 8 minutes, this is not going to be a long process, and we want you to know that we're going to try to make it easy for you. Okay. So there's a range of investment options. There is a FDIC insured checking option. I like to see that. that's something that is very good. Let's say you want to contribute to an able account, but you don't want your money in the market. You want your money in something that is FDIC insured up to $250,000. I could put the money in, and it's worry free. The money's there. I don't have to worry. There is an advantage to having the money in investments and in a checking account, so that you have money to use right now in the checking account. You have a certain amount of cash, as well as having some money in investments. But that's something you need to speak to a financial professional and get some guidance, because one of the purpose of this account is to help people grow um, their funds, and one of the ways that people do that is through investments, right? But when doing that, the investments could also go down in value. So that's always a concern and a consideration. Okay, so we see these 6 options, and we have the checking account. Okay, looks good. If you want more, want some price performance, you could see with the price performance, you could see the annual average return since inception. Okay, these are fairly new, so you're not going to have some major history here. So that is just something to show. Okay, it's here, meaning it's important for this to be here. We're not going to go through the quarter end performance. Okay. That's what I want to do. I wanted to click on one of these. Let's say I want to go moderate, right? What does moderate look like, right? So it shows you that they make investments up using some Vanguard index funds and Schwab index funds and iShares stock funds, index funds, and BlackRock. So they're sticking to index funds. And again, you have to figure out if this makes sense for you, right? And one of the ways to do that is to seek guidance. But as you go through this, they explain the different risk factors and the explanation of the investment risk factors. And this plan disclosure statement is something that you should read if you plan on investing in this plan. It may seem overwhelming, but you can just take your time. Okay, let's go down to the forms. What forms do I have available before I try to do an application? Okay, so I can enroll online, or I could enroll by downloading a form and then sending it in, right? Depending on my preference. Can manage the account. There are financial forms here. Okay. Investment changes, I could do that online as well as via form. Contributions, both. Okay, we like that. Withdrawals, both. Authorization, power of attorney, giving somebody power of attorney. That needs a download. I'm assuming they need a wet signature for that, which means an actual signature. All right. So, if now let's just try this. Let's just try the application. Okay. So this is what you need to have with you. And let's enter some information. Okay, I can't really go any further than this. This kind of just opens the door to the process, but I am not applying for an account, so I don't want to go through the process. There are 6 parts here. Info about the account holder. Is this the parent that's opening it? Is the account holder physically opening it? Is there somebody that's authorized? Regardless, the account owner is going to be the individual with disabilities, the individual with special needs. Here is the information. You need to explain by choosing one of these, which category do you fall into? And then you'll choose the authorized individuals, investments, funding. How am I going to send stuff in? Am I going to, and then they make it fairly simple. Some of this you have to fill in. A bunch of them you just have to click some boxes and circles and click next. I'm not going to go any further. I'm actually going to click out. Wanted to thank you for joining us today. Again, a little bit of a general overview here on the District of Columbia 529A ABLE account. This is Ron Yaish with Special Needs Lifeplanning.com. Please share this information with others, with groups that may benefit. We want to try to do more on your behalf. If there are questions you have, or if there are ideas and things you want to learn more about, please reach out to us. You could do that via email, emailing us at info@specialneedslifeplanning.com, or you could even do info@snlifeplanning.com. Both of those come to our team, and we could take it from there. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It means a lot that you've spent the time with us. Just wanted to ask you if you could to please subscribe to our channel. It does help us. It means a lot to us. And if you are watching this on the blog, you wouldn't be able to subscribe, but you would be able to put in your email address and join the ABLE Report community. That means when we come out with information, when we come out with our ABLE reports, you would receive it. So please enter your email address if this is on the blog, or click subscribe on right below this video. Thanks so much. Until next time.